How you doing today? This is Gregory calling from By George. I've been with the company for 22 years. We started making cheesesteaks in 2008. We were doing just pizza and lasagnas and Italian food. Cheesesteak business on 11th Street went out of business, so we started to make cheesesteaks in 2008, and after that we soared. We really soared with the cheesesteaks, and it's 2021, and we're doing really good with cheesesteaks, and we're going to continue making cheesesteaks really well. Again, this is Greg from By George.
By George Reading Terminal. Reading Terminal is one of those places, when I go there, I'm like, why don't I spend more time at the Reading Terminal? Especially, probably the best deal in the city is the parking deal at the Reading Terminal. $5 for 2 hours, get your ticket validated when you spend more than $10 at a vendor. And By George, this is a good cheesesteak. And again, By George is a good cheesesteak, and whenever I get their cheesesteak, I always ask myself, why don't I get By George's cheesesteak more often? Very good cheesesteak, and I'd never been to the other side of the counter. I didn't realize I had all this other great food. Great stop at the Reading Terminal, By George.
March Cheesesteak Madness. Reading Terminal, take 3. Yes, 3 times I hit the wrong button. All right, here we are, Philadelphia, beautiful market. Here we are, By George, Reading Terminal.
This looks like a great cheesesteak.
It does. Cheese throughout.
And there's tons of cheese.
Tons of cheese.
Mixed evenly.
Seeded roll. The onions are flavorful. I don't see any mushrooms yet. Ooh, look at that. That's a ton of cheese.
I see the mushrooms.
I see them.
Fresh mushrooms. They're bigger pieces, but they're nice and thin.
Mm-hmm. The onions are sweet.
Let me see the meat here. No, I would agree. The meat itself, I don't even know if it's seasoned, but
I don't think it is.
the sandwich eats great because there's so much cheese. It's nicely seasoned.
But the onions and mushrooms are taste good. So I think that that's adding flavor to the meat, but there is no seasoning on the meat.
I agree.
Meat could use a little seasoning. Yeah.
But I'm loving it. Good cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Well, the judges work on their scores. We have a special guest Ethan, and he's on break from school. So we're not taking him out of school. All child, school, and labor laws have been adhered to. No children have been harmed in this video. What do you think?
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
Nice. Is it worth missing? Is it worth using your whole break to eat?
Yeah, probably.
Very good.
Usually I don't really do much.
Don't say that on camera.
Hey guys, welcome to Gilben's. We're at 7405 Stanton Avenue. We're a family-owned bakery. We specialize in cheesesteaks, po' boys, sliders and salads. We cut and specialty desserts as well. We also we have 2 more businesses opening very soon due to the success of the first business. We have a Gilben's Creations coming. That's going to be salads and all things that are healthy and fresh pasta. A lot of good stuff out of there. Our third building is going to be our smokehouse. That's going to be all smoked meat, soul food. A lot of good things coming soon in the next 2 buildings. But back to our original building, once again, we're the home of the Philly po' boy, but we also are one of the best cheesesteaks in the city. Please come see us, check us out. Good customer service. We cook with love. You can tell, you can feel it through the food. You can taste it through the food. So please come check us out right here at Gilben's Bakery. And my name is Josh. I'm the head chef here.
Gilben's Bakery and Specialty Sandwich Shop, North Philly. I was intrigued by Gilben's Bakery and Specialty Sandwich Shop from the moment I heard about them. The way it was presented to me is that they were a bakery and then they started making sandwiches and that they made their own rolls and they only served garlic bread rolls. And I love garlic bread, and if you have your own bakery and you turn your own roll into a garlic bread roll, I was thinking right from the start that this ought to be pretty darn good. And you'll see in a second, the judges seem to like it.
March cheesesteak madness. Stenton Johnson. Gilden's. Next stop.
This is
Turn it to the side.
Gilben's Bakery. Toasted garlic bread. This is really such a delicious cheesesteak.
So the meat is like butter. It's like melting in my mouth. It's shaved super, super thin, chopped finely, tons of cheese. So between the ooziness of the cheese and this like light buttery texture of the meat, it just feels light. It's like it's rich.
Peppers and onions, very flavorful, sweet peppers. The garlic bread toasted on the outside. This is a really, it is
Wow.
rich is how I would describe it, but not very heavy.
No, not too heavy. So my roll's holding up. It's squeezing out of the back, but underneath,
Mine fell
it's
through the
holding.
bottom.
Okay, yours fell through.
Garlic really adds flavor to it. Never would ever think of garlic bread for a cheesesteak.
You're right. You know, we talk about the seasonings that people put on the meat. This meat is just straightforward meat, but it's the bread that now has that garlicky, almost like the dried herb flavor.
Thinking outside the box on this one.
And I love the
Well,
peppers.
look, I mean, not only garlic bread roll, but fresh bread, fresh made here.
The bread's delicious.
It is. You talk about like why a toasted bun is better. Take this and it's like toasted on steroids.
Best cheesesteak there. Also notice my bandana.
Very nice.
That was phenomenal. Like really enjoyed it. I hesitate here because I feel like it's not that traditional cheesesteak, and we talk about taking away from places that are trying to make it something that it's not. But somehow this is like an improvement on a cheesesteak. It's like everything that I want in a cheesesteak.
It's a
It's
little
just different
sweet
than
for
I've
me
had.
though,
Yeah.
because of the sweet peppers. So I can't. Okay, so we have up now against each other, and in this bracket we have By George versus Gilben's Bakery. This is a tough competition for me actually, because both of them I scored the same. I mean, right down to scores identical. So I don't know. It's tough. I feel like By George is a really good cheesesteak. It eats like a cheesesteak, tastes like a cheesesteak. It's on a seeded Karanji roll, which is like, it's like straight to my heart.
It's in the Reading Terminal Market, so great destination.
Great Philadelphia place to be and have a cheesesteak. I mean, the cheese was throughout the entire thing. You know I'm a sucker for cheese too.
You are a sucker for cheese.
I don't know. I mean, it's a tough call. Gilben's Bakery does something a little different. I feel like,
You know, they are different, and we've talked about that a lot in this competition, about trying to adhere to a traditional cheesesteak, and the ones that are doing something a little too far off. It may be a great sandwich, but it just doesn't seem to work with this competition, where I feel a responsibility to push the best cheesesteak through to the next round, and so the unique ones haven't always made it. Gilben's walks that line between like unique, but they really do, when you break it down to the
but
components
it's
of
a garlic
cheesesteak.
bread roll. I mean, it's like a toasted garlic bread roll, like a long roll, like a lobster roll almost.
So I think they just stay within bounds of what I view as a cheesesteak. Certainly up my alley with the type of the meat, the chop of the meat, the dispersion of the cheese throughout. So a great sandwich.
They make their own blended cheese too, the sharp and the American blend. And
Yeah.
they put a lot of care in their sandwich.
You do. It's a bigger sandwich. There's more meat, bigger portion. The roll was longer than By George.
But By George has that just like really good, like comfort food cheesesteak
They do, and it's
bite
Karanji,
to it.
seeded
It's
Karanji,
crunchy.
yeah.
It's Reading Terminal. It's like everything I want in a
It is.
cheesesteak.
I was just gonna say it's everything you want in a cheesesteak.
It is.
By George.
By George.
So this is a tough one for me. Probably the toughest of all of the pairings we've had so far, because they both deserve to move on. They both deserve to be known as a great Philadelphia cheesesteak.
Yeah. Gilben's is a little different though than.
They are. You mentioned the sweet peppers and making the sandwich as a whole a little bit on the sweet side, and we both agree that some hot peppers in there would have been more up our alley. Would have been, so.
Oh, I'm definitely a hot pepper girl. I like it spicy.
Yeah. But we have to pick one.
Yeah. So this is tough.
And I think that I would give my vote.
So it's like, but how are we gonna judge? I mean, is it gonna be like the traditional, like the comfort, like everything that is in a Philadelphia cheesesteak, or the one that actually takes the cheesesteak, walks the line, takes it to the next level? Like, I don't really.
It's fair, and that's the question. That is the question. I think that if Gilben's
My score's the same, so
crossed
I'm kind of
over
like looking
to
to
the
you.
other side, they might have gotten themselves out of the competition, but I think they stayed true to that foundation of a cheesesteak, and between the two, I enjoyed the Gilben sandwich more. The Gilben cheesesteak just spoke to me. I wanted more of it. I didn't want to stop eating it, and so I got in. My vote is for Gilben's.
So I'm gonna have to pick then.
This is going to be
And
your pick.
they're both the same. I'm a tiebreaker again.
Get to be the tiebreaker.
That's why you have the special bandana.
I'm gonna have to say that both scored the same. You got to push one through, and it's got to be the better cheesesteak. So I'm gonna say, by George, Gilben has it. Congrats, boys. Those boys really, like, those sandwiches are made with love.
Josh and the guys
Yeah.
at Gilben's.
Congrats.
See you again.
On to the